Tanya Mead.
And I'm Brad Fortier.
And today we are presenting on It's Not My Fault, Lurching Toward Courageous Imperfection. And I cannot claim credit for that second part, which I would love for you to explain a little bit more.
Sure. So I say lurching because it's not a graceful process. It's actually, I'm an anthropologist, and it was inspired by a book I read called Stumbling Towards the Truth, which is about the process of social science, and it's imperfect. And so I felt like it was very relevant to our discussion today in terms of dealing with the subject matter. So
today we're heavily leaning on Robin DiAngelo's work. She wrote What Does It Mean to Be White? She's written a lot about white fragility. So I really recommend her work. It's very, very accessible. And Janet Helms' White Identity Development, which is spoken about a lot in Why Are All the Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria, which is a wonderful read also. It's been around for a while, but still really helpful, gives you a lot of definitions. I am super passionate about the topic of white fragility. I want to confess I struggle with fragility every day, so I don't think it goes away, and so I am out here to model fragility and talk to you about it. I think it is the role that whites play in the conversation about race is critical, and it is because of our lack of participation, because of our ability to not participate, right? Our privilege, right, to not participate in this conversation, which has to do with our white fragility, right? Our feelings about this conversation is why we're still here. So despite all the important work of the civil rights era, you know, that on all the legislation and coming out of Jim Crow and our racist history in this country, we're still here because of the role that whites play in our society and because of the emotionality around this discussion. So I'm just so passionate about it. And when I read Robin DiAngelo's article, I was like, yes, this makes sense. It really just helps. And so hopefully we can share some of that information with you. I did make some copies of her academic paper today. So if you were really excited to read it, let me know. And also something that's a little more colloquial where she's interviewed called Why White People Freak Out When They're Called Out About Race. So if you're feeling academic, you could ask for that one, or more colloquial, I'll give you that one. So I didn't make tons of copies, but you know, we want to share her work. And she's coming to Oregon on, I want to say May 9th. She's coming to Corvallis, and it's free. And it's at, is it Lynn Benton that's in Corvallis? Yeah. So you could just Google her and find out more about that, but that's a real great opportunity for us. Brad,
right.
To you.
To me, so I didn't really talk much about what I do here at PCC. I am the interim coordinator for the Illumination Project. So I do a lot of social justice education through interactive theater, things of that nature. Outside of that, I do a lot of work with refugees, using theater as a tool to build community in refugee populations, both in Texas and recently abroad in Germany. So I'm really passionate about how identities affect relationships, and especially, obviously, how our identities affect our relationships with people of color over here. So. And in terms of this, I mean, this was kind of born out of a passionate conversation that Tanya and I had out of a few meetings that we shared together, and that's where the idea to do this talk kind of was born from. Like, oh my God, let's do this thing, and also just to look at it like through the frame of emotions, like, because this is a big part of what the speed bump is in the conversation in terms of getting somewhere. To help people out, you know, on both sides of it, because I think we all suffer when we're disconnected. It's just the truth of life. So, yeah.
I am so thrilled to have this opportunity to do this with Brad, and Whiteness History Month gives, I think, the staff and faculty at PCC a chance to kind of develop ourselves and our own knowledge as we prepare presentations like this. And we're also presenting this at Sylvania, which, so if you want to send people that way, you may do that.
Thursday, same time, library room 204. Should we go in the room and do just
Yes,
like quick?
let's do that.
We are,
Who's in the room? So if you could just tell us your name and what brings you here, just briefly.